Joshua Mahony. He's a senior market analyst at IG Group in London. Joshua, good to have you on the program with us. How priced into the markets are these coronavirus concerns, as we are seeing a lot of caution after that initial excitement over potential vaccines?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, the position that markets are in at the moment is the optimism when we're looking in terms of the medium to long term, of course, because of the fact that we have seen these vaccine breakthroughs. However, some element of realism, because we continue to see a rise in terms of cases. Just today, we're seeing the fact that we've seen a rise in cases in Tokyo and a potential for them to start tightening restrictions. Of course, you already got significant restrictions here in Europe. South Australia are also entering a circuit breaker period. So certainly this isn't going away. And with the fact that we are actually getting these vaccines coming through, yes, it is positive in that it provides us with, in some ways, a sort of finish line to this whole crisis, but it's not going to be swift. Now, just today we have heard from Pfizer, who have put a little bit more meat on the bone. Of course, it was last Monday that we did hear from them coming out saying that they have got a very effective vaccine. Now they've upped that effectiveness to 95%, actually above that Moderna line. And so certainly that's positive news, but it does feel like with each vaccine news that comes out that's positive, it feels like it's more of the same, and markets aren't necessarily seeing that same kind of jump. So we are seeing markets tick a little bit higher today, but now we're at the point where we know that we have a vaccine, but we also know that it's going to take some time, and therefore it's difficult to get too optimistic when you know that we've got lockdowns that are going to be seeing significant job losses.
Yeah, let's talk about cryptocurrencies, which are hitting fresh highs. You know, you don't really think of the word safe haven and cryptocurrency in the same sentence, but we have seen so much volatility with the markets, global markets this year. What's behind this, fresh crypto mania, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, when this first started and we saw governments and central banks acting in unison to print money, to create debt, I remember thinking back then that this was the perfect environment for cryptocurrencies to thrive, and the likes of gold. We have seen gold outperform earlier in the year, but now we've actually moved into a position where on down days we're seeing Bitcoin moving higher and gold not necessarily doing so. So it does feel like Bitcoin and cryptos are starting to become a little bit more reliable. Arguably why they're especially perceived to be safe havens. Look, ultimately, people at the moment are seeing it as something that has got a very reliable uptrend. And if you look or cast your mind back to when we were close to this kind of point previously, there was this absolute euphoria. We're now starting to see people talk about it within the media. But certainly with the fact that we're at 18,000, just 2,000 shy of the prior record high, I think actually the fact that this euphoria is only just starting now, to me, means that it's probably got further to run. So certainly I think this is going to be a story that's got some time to run yet.
Interesting. Let's talk about the U.S. We saw retail sales down, more unemployment benefits ran out. There's no agreement yet on a new stimulus package. How is this going to look going into the holiday season? How could this affect the markets?
Yeah, I mean, look, this all factors into that idea that we've got short-term worries. We've got the back end of the year in the US, but also here in the UK, where ordinarily you have a number of retailers that are really reliant on those holiday sales to be able to make their money. This is going to be a difficult time because you're going to see people want to stay at home. So the fact that we're seeing dampened retail sales, the prospect of people maybe not being able to meet up for Christmas or their holidays, it means people are probably going to spend less, and they're probably going to spend less on the high street. It means it's probably good for the likes of Amazon, but not great for those high street retailers that already have been hit very hard throughout this whole crisis.
All right, Joshua Mahony in London, thank you.